Hi everyone, my name is Claire Candy Huff, and my name is also Angel Ariel, as I had an angelic walk-in experience on January 11th of 2003. Welcome to my weekly YouTube Walk-in Angel Ariel's Weekly Wisdom for the upcoming week of October 3rd through October 9th. I, for one, am very excited that it's October and Libra season, as my birthday is on October 7th. You know, if you want to find out more information about walk-ins and read more about my remarkable journey, you can read about it in my award-winning #1 Amazon International best-selling book, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, The Autobiography of Angel Ariel, which, by the way, is the sequel to my first award-winning #1 Amazon International bestseller, One True Home, Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness. I am a Reiki Master Teacher, an intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, tarot card reader, lots of different things. You can find out all about my services through my business, which is Angel Healing House, and that website is angelhealinghouse.com. The phone number at Angel Healing House is 831-277-3716, and remember, that's Pacific Standard Time, as we are in Los Angeles, California. Before we go to any tarot cards, any oracle cards, to see what messages my angelic family, the posse of angels, and I have for all of us as we enter into this first week of October, we're going to look at the astrological energies which are affecting all of us. Now, on September 27th, we entered into what I promise is going to be the last Mercury retrograde of this year. And this one will remain with us until it stations direct on October the 18th. With Mercury retrograde slowing down our lives, and yes, many times it grinds our projects to a halt. Many can choose to be frustrated at this time. But I prefer to see it as a great time to do things like review, readjust, and reassess things in our life. This is actually one of my favorite times of the year, as it excites me. It gets me re-energized and gives me a boost to go into the vaults of my computer and re-edit my next books, which are going to be published. And with the possibility of technology going wonky, well, it's a great reminder. Even if you don't buy into Mercury retrograde, it's a great reminder to back up all of our technology. Just a reminder, if you are going to travel during the retrograde, be extra vigilant about checking and triple checking your travel plans because of the possibility of miscommunication and delays. And try, if possible, to not sign and avoid signing contracts. Now, the posse of angels and I know that life doesn't stop during a Mercury retrograde, and there are still lots of people who are buying homes, buying cars, signing contracts for jobs. But if you can't postpone signing these contracts, do make sure that you get several sets of eyes to go over the contracts with several fine-tooth combs. And while Mercury in Libra retrograde is not the best time to get into any new negotiations, it is, although, a great time to renegotiate for something that wishes to be resurrected from the past. And of course, Mercury retrograde is a great time to find those things that were lost in the past. Lost information, lost jobs, things like lost opportunities that we might have missed out on. It's all about things balancing out again in your world, which is, after all, very Libran. Now, another fun aspect of Mercury retrograde is receiving communication from people from the past who just seem to pop back into our lives again, out of the blue. And I guess the greatest plus of a Mercury retrograde is that every time, and the posse of angels are saying this, every time there is a Mercury retrograde, it's giving us absolutely invaluable time to get ready, to clean out our closets, to organize our lives, because it is heralding the new coming in on the horizon after Mercury stations direct. And do know that although Mercury goes and stations direct on October 18th, it does take a good 7, 10, 12, 14 days to completely move forward. And that would be more towards the end of October. But October will be a pivotal month, and it will really set us up for the coming year of 2022. Now, during last week's Libra equinox, many felt as if we really did close a chapter and there was a fresh, sparkling surge of energy which is swiftly moving us to our next stage of ascension. This will help us gain greater clarity of vision, to finally see and finally be shown the depth of corruption and darkness that has been perpetuated on this planet. You know, before this time of the equinox, the conscious collective was still integrating higher frequency energies, and we were not ready to face many of those heinous, disturbing acts and knowledge of the deceit and corruption that has been happening in almost every area of our lives. Now, with this heightened, elevated state of consciousness in the collective, we are ready, or as ready as we'll ever be, to be able to be shown the depth of corruption. Now, Libra season, and it couldn't come at a better time, because Libra season will highlight justice, truth, the law, and legal matters. Things like the audits of the Arizona elections, and the ever-increasing lawsuits being brought against those people who are denying others their constitutional rights. And how about the lawsuits inciting the Nuremberg trial judgments for the denying of rights to determine one's own health choices? To start off October, we will have no less than 6 out of 10 planets in air signs, bringing about and encouraging more honest, open communications. And with it being a time of retrograde, this is going to fuel the fire of triggered opinions and beliefs being expressed. Now, this new moon in Libra on October the 6th will be affected by that fiery, determined planet of Mars, which it's usually not a problem at this action-packed, fire-filled energy is great, and it encourages us to reach our goals. But this moon is in a challenging, aggressive aspect to the planet Uranus, which might incite some to violence, to revenge, and rebellion, especially when these revelations and disclosures about these heinous crimes against humanity come out. But the energies of light are of such an elevated frequency that these actions will be judged harshly, not tolerated, and dealt with swift reprisals. Quelling any flare-ups of emotions will be helped by the stationing direct of Pluto. This Pluto is the planet of resurrection, of rebirth, reincarnation. And this will happen just 7 hours after this new moon, bringing resurrection energies to these eruptions. They could have been a lot worse if not for these planetary aspects. In addition, the planet Saturn stations direct on October the 10th, and this will bring karma back into balance, which will end the volatile surge of triggered energies that began the month. Remember, no matter what erupts around us, it is tantamount that we stay in our heart-centeredness and not allow ourselves to be dragged back in and engage with anything that's fear-based, any separation, any fighting energies of the third dimension, so that we can keep our energies high, light, and elevated. I did a program on my Angel Healing House radio program, which airs every week on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I did a program that was entitled, There Is No Fighting in the Fifth Dimension. And for all you who are spiritual, for all you spiritual teachers, if you're still engaging and fighting for something, it means you're showing the universe that you don't have whatever you're fighting for, because we are given exactly what we need in any given moment. So there is no need to fight, and there certainly is no fighting in the higher dimensional frequencies. Now, even with this possible brief disruption, this month is all about finding balance, harmony, and equality. In this month of October, many of us will be dealing with a lot of duality, and we will be making our minds up about things. And if there's one thing about Libran season is, yes, they always like balance, and they do take a lot of time to make up their minds. After wishing and intending and praying for our heartfelt longings, when things finally do start to flow in our lives with opportunities and offers, this new cycle will present us as individuals with choices and decisions to make, like where to relocate, where to live, what offers and opportunities will we say yes to, etc. But also with the enormous number of disturbing disclosures about deceit and corruption, we'll have to make choices as a conscious collective as to whether we'll choose to react violently, take revenge, or to choose forgiveness, compassion, and healing in order to stay in a state of calmness and peace. Now, to help us stay heart-centered through this month, the last week's program on Angel Healing House, Blog Talk Radio, was about uniting through forgiveness and compassion and kindness and love. One of the greatest things that we can do for forgiveness is to say the Hawaiian forgiveness prayer. This is the Ho'oponopono prayer, where we say, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you, because we take responsibility for our part in contributing to the world as it is. Then, along with this Hawaiian forgiveness prayer, we can reach out to people with support and encouragement and kindness, being more compassionate to others as to why they reacted in a certain way or why they said certain things. Give people the benefit of the doubt, the posse of angels, and I want to remind everyone that everyone is going through something, and even more so after what we have been through in the last 2 years. The great news is that with all the integration that we've done to elevate our consciousness and higher dimensional frequencies of light within, that the possibilities for true healing to occur now are absolutely endless. With each of us expressing this individually in our own circles, it will grow exponentially and then extend out to heal the conscious collective here on Mother Gaia. Now, along with it being my birthday program, as my radio program will fall directly on my birthday, I am going to be speaking about Mother Earth's birthday as she is resurrecting into a planet of light. I'll speak about how she is now joining the Galactic Council of Light because she has broken out of the matrix of this dark light or darkness that she was hijacked and kidnapped into, and how each of us is now being looked at by Mother Gaia to see if we hold the light frequencies and the higher elevated energies to remain on this planet. So as we go into this first week in October, forewarned is forearmed, knowing that this new moon has a difficult aspect to Uranus and it can lend itself to uprising and violence. We can all make an internal promise to ourselves to be extra vigilant about holding forgiveness, healing, compassion, peace, kindness for others, and to remain tranquil and peaceful within. Remain heart-centered. Remain in that beautiful light within. Now, the posse of angels is saying that it's no coincidence that many dark disclosures are being revealed now, so that Libra's magical gifts of harmonizing, balancing, equality, diplomacy, bringing forth justice and truth can be drawn upon in this month. These energies are helping us to not lash out, not to lose control, but to channel our energies into that kindness, forgiveness, and peace. The posse of angels is reminding all of us that by being extra vigilant about what we say during these times, and we should be extra vigilant what we say during a Mercury retrograde, and by making sure that what we do say is uplifting, positive, healing, and comforting and encouraging, it will really help to balance surrounding energies. And through kindness and understanding, we can then go on to build formidable bridges on this new planet of light to pave the way and create the roads which will be smoother and much easier for everyone to traverse as our beautiful planet ascends into a planet of light. You have been listening to me, Claire Candy Hoff, here on Angel Ariel's or Walk-in Angel Ariel's Weekly Wisdom, which I usually am able to do on the weekends, either on Saturdays or Sundays. So, without further ado, let's go to the cards and see what came out. When I shuffled these cards, the Oracle of the Energies, the Oracle of the Seven Energies, the first card that came out for us is the card of Earth Magic. Now, as I mentioned with the equinox, we finished a cycle here on planet Earth, and we have entered this magical time on the planet where we have gone from this darkness that was pretty much with us for 11,000 years. And look at the contrast. We are bursting forth to this light energy. What we're doing is we're going from that dark to light along with Mother Earth. And we're doing this as individuals, and we're doing this as a collective. There's great magic that's germinating just underneath the surface. It's swirling around. And it's coming to the surface to show us so that we can acknowledge what has been done on this planet, so we can thank it, we can bless it, and we can finally put it to rest, in which we will never allow ourselves to give our freedoms and our choices away to anyone else, as we are powerful, sovereign, multidimensional beings, and we have a right to our liberties and a right to choose our health choices. Next card that's coming out for us and is the Powerful Move card. Now this is a card of great change being in the air. It's deliberate action is needed to move our intentions forward, and the greatest action that we can take now is to stay heart-centered and not allow ourselves to engage in any kind of chaos, drama, blame, judgment, anger, anything like that. We do more for the planet when we hold that level of peace and forgiveness and compassion and kindness and forgiveness than we can ever imagine. To take steps towards our intended experience, we must first start with what is inside of us. And this is the powerful move. It's like a chess piece with wings. And that's what they're showing. They're showing me is that each of us is like a chess piece at the moment. And that we're playing, if you play your part in this great game of ascension, then you will be fostering Mother Earth to become part of the Galactic Council of Light, which she is so happy. And in the vision that she shows me, she's throwing her arms open and the halo of light around her as she's being welcomed into that council once again. And it's so wonderful to see after having been shut out for 11,000 years of darkness. The next card that's coming out for us is the Royal You. This is the card of sovereignty. That's what we're having. Wear that crown of authenticity, of transparency, of openness, of authenticity. But also, by being sovereign, we take responsibility for our part in creating this world of light. Feel comfortable in your own skin, knowing who you are. And the only thing that you can control is your level of light inside of you. Stay calm, stay serene, and lead always with that beautiful heart of yours. And this is practicing being that powerful, sovereign, independent person that you are. And then the next card that comes together is the card of solidarity, is the coming together, is the non-judgment of whatever choices that a person made, they made. It has nothing to do with you. Come together as people on this planet that are allowed to be free, to are allowed to make their own health choices, and to form a community that supports each other. And then once you are in your integrity and your authenticity, then you will draw those people to yourself of higher dimensional frequency. And you will draw those birds of a feather to you. I like that it's 23 and it's a number 5. Because it's like the posse of angels are saying, it's like the changing of the guard. You know, many of us have had both family and friends really drop out of our lives. Because of disparate energies, and now we are going to be drawing to ourselves those people who are more of like-minded and heart-centeredness like ourselves. So there are those cards from that deck. Then they had me do something a little bit differently. They had me pull 3 sets of cards and read them like a story to each, which the first one is the card of fates. Now this is something that's destined. This is something that's karmic. This is something that's fated, the fates. And it's like they're showing me the stars that are aligning after 11,000 years. And you contracted to be here at this time of the great shift of Mother Earth to become a planet of light and to break out of those chains. Now, you contracted for this. If you want to find out more about contracts, I write about soul contracts in my award-winning book, One True Home, Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness. So what we are experiencing now is a very fated karmic thing for her to break out of these chains, finally, and for the inhabitants, those who are staying in that heart-centeredness, will allow, and of elevated consciousness, not engaging in the third dimension, we will be able to stay on this planet of light. Reading along with this one, the Fates, is the regeneration card. Again, just the way like we saw in that Earth Magic card, in which, once again, once again, we're going from the dark on the bottom, and we're reaching up. We're reaching up into the light. And this is exactly what's happening on the planet as she is resurrecting herself. In each moment, the posse of angels are showing me more and more lights turning on and a greater lights coming onto the planet. The next two cards are the first one, Truth Be Told. Yes, they're going to be quite disturbing, harrowing disclosures and revelations about corruption and crimes against humanity and things coming out. But the truth must come out. It must be exhumed in order for us to see what has been going on, in order for us to acknowledge it. Once we acknowledge it, we can thank it for its contrast, we can bless it in order to release it, so that we can go on to build the structures and the systems of light that are more in resonance with a planet that is ascending into light. So, yes, the truth will be coming out. Honesty, transparency, clarity will be shown to us. And the next card I thought was interesting coming out with the truth card, which is the To Be Fair card. This is a card of balance, the scales balancing out, justice. It's the card of cause and effect. It's the card of karma. It's a time of recompense where all the evils and all the ills must be balanced once more, as Mother Earth will not accept anything less. And then the last set of cards to be read is Message in a Bottle, which is number 6. Now, number 6 is a card of balance. It's a card of harmonizing things. It's also the number of diplomacy, but these messages are the revelations and the disclosures coming out. It's interesting that this bottle is coming out up from the ocean, out of the depths of darkness that have been hidden from us. Are going to be shown these disclosures, and it's going to finally finish this unfinished symphony here on planet Earth. And the unfinished symphony card is that one of completion. You know, Mother Earth is not fooling around anymore. You can't have a foot in both camps. You're either with the light or you're not with the light. And if you the sun just shone through in my office. Either you spend more time and you put more focus on compassion, forgiveness, kindness, encouragement, unity, and things of higher elevation than you do on chaos and drama and judgment and blame and separation and division. Then you will be able to remain on this planet of light. When I went to these cards, I love these new cards of mine. They're called the Akashic Tarot. The card that popped out was, and I thought this was interesting, the Lightning Bolt card. This is the card of things absolutely splitting apart. And those of us in the higher elevations, we do experience life in the fifth dimensional energies and above. We are living in that heaven on earth energy, and with every word we speak, with everything, every action we take, and with every thought we have, we are very, very practiced at keeping our vibrational frequencies as high as we possibly can. And then when we hear news, we remain neutral so that we don't give it any of our energies. It's also a time of a metaphorical death. It's a time of feeling wounded, of feeling grieved, of feeling corrupted and deceived. And that's what will incite the violence, and that's what will incite a lot to be triggered and to rebel. But please know that it's important that we see these things. It might separate a lot of people on the planet, but the benefit of it will be coming in. But it often takes a very drastic ending, like we often see when I read tarot for my clients. When the Tower card comes in, something must be broken apart in order for a new beginning to start. And it often takes a storm to cleanse the field in order for the new to come forth. So that's really, really, really important. So let's go to our tarot to finish off this last little bit of last little bits of messages coming from the posse of angels. So if you've been one during this, and it's a wonderful time during this Mercury retrograde to take some time out, to go within, to really make sure that you are attending to the cleaning out of your closets. You could physically clean out your closets, or the cleaning out of any clutter that you might have within your thoughts, within your heart, to bring about those things of kindness and forgiveness. Please do listen or re-listen to my Angel Healing House Blog Talk Radio program that last week was on uniting through forgiveness and compassion. And also, if you've missed any of the Angel Healing House Blog Talk Radio programs that air live on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can always go on the Angel Healing House Blog Talk Radio site, and they are all archived there. Different topics going back 10 years of these weekly radio programs of the Posse of Angels and I, bringing forth messages for everyone. I was speaking to somebody just today on my walk, and after we spoke, he said, out of all that is happening in the world, I don't think I've come across somebody like you who is so positive about what's happening in the world. And I said, finally, things are being revealed. And I say, hallelujah, things are being revealed in order for them to be disclosed, so we can finally exhume the crypt and see exactly what has been withheld from us, seeing the lies and the deception, in order for us to go beyond that. And I said, it is a remarkable time here on planet Earth. He was astounded, as he didn't know anybody who saw what was happening in such a positive light. Let's go to the tarot and see what comes out. The first card coming out for us is Judgment. This is the Resurrection card. Again, another one. We have the cards from going from dark, here, dark, to light. It is a time of intervention. That's what the Posse of Angels are saying. Because humanity has raised its vibrational frequencies, this was the first time ever we did this high enough as a collective that we allowed for the intervention of our angelic hosts, archangels, God Source Creator, the Galactic Federation of Light, to come in, to step in and help us as inhabitants on a planet breaking free from the darkness, and the transformation of butterflies there as we are flying free is tremendous. There is Archangel Gabriel blowing his or her trumpet, heralding the new coming in. And that is a time of resurrection. Wow. Now they're drawing my attention to the XX, which is this is the number 20 card. And it's the card of the two is partnering, we are partnering with those higher ups, if you want to call them, and bringing in the divine resurrection of this planet. Next card that's coming in is the World card. Didn't I just say Mother Earth is holding up her hands to receive that help and that light, not only from the Galactic Council, not only from our archangelic help and the angels, but from each and every one of us. Because she is monitoring, having woken up, she is monitoring each one of us, our personal intentions as to whether we have elevated our frequencies of love and light, and we are in the higher dimensional frequencies. And here she's holding this laurel wreath because the light has won on the planet. What we are seeing now is only the sweeping up of the darkness of the crumbs. We wouldn't be seeing all these reveals if things weren't coming to light in order to be dissipated, and the light is growing in every moment. So the World card is also a card of completing a cycle which ended on that equinox, and we've entered into a new cycle. Next card coming out for us is the Eight of Wands. This is the messages that are going to be coming in for us. Yes, like the message in the bottle card that we have, this is about those revelations and disclosures. And no, it's not happy that these things happened. It's not that we're happy, but we're happy that they're being revealed. Finally, they're being revealed. You have complete control whether you choose to have a violent reaction or choose rebellion or choose triggering, or you choose to remain neutral, you choose to remain peaceful, and see these people who committed these crimes in light, in healing, because that's what they need. That's what they're lacking, and they lacked in order to commit this corruption. So this is these are the messages that are coming in. Next card that is coming out, I just mentioned it. It's funny about how this happens in so many readers when they read the cards. But this is the card of, where was that other card? Oh yeah, the lightning bolt. Don't they look very much alike? Lightning striking. You know, I mentioned the Tower card. The lightning bolt is all about splitting worlds apart, if you may, splitting the third dimension from the fifth dimension and above. It's a time of loss. It can be a time of disappointment, but like a metaphorical death. But the Tower card is that which has been built, those structures and those systems which were built on lies and deception and darkness and inhumanity, all must go because Mother Earth is being resurrected. So everything must be broken down in order for us to have a breakthrough. The next card is the Death card. I just said a more metaphorical death. It's about that transformation. Finally, not only is Mother Earth transforming, but her inhabitants will have to transform. That is, if they want to stay on this planet. If they don't, then they will go to another planet that supports lower dimensional frequencies of hatred and racism and blame and separation and division and judgment and all of those lower dimensional frequencies of fear, chaos, and drama. And that's fine because it's just like attracting like. It's just like energies, connecting with like energies. But we are in a time of transformation. Yes, I'm not surprised this card comes out. It's the Strength card. It's the courage that each and every one of us must have. And yes, you contracted to be here at this time. Know that if you were chosen, if you are here in a human body, you were chosen to be here at this time, please know that many others would have liked to have been here at this time of the festival of Mother Earth ascending into a planet of light, but they weren't courageous and brave and strong enough to go through what we have gone through in the last 18 months. So they are saying, yes, be courageous to be authentic, but also be strong enough to be like this little lammy and be gentle and kind and concerned and generous and compassionate and forgiving during this time. 2 more cards. This card is the card of Temperance. As we go through this time, what we're doing is we're balancing. We're balancing all of those energies so that the light can flow freely on the planet. Once more, this extraordinary beam of light coming down and showering us with uninterrupted beams of light. Our bodies are crystallining. I've mentioned many times on our program, on my Angel Healing House Blog Talk Radio program, how our diets are changing, our thoughts are changing, our very essence of who we are is now crystallining. For the first time ever, we're ascending within these physical bodies by holding this massive amounts of light. And it is balancing us out to become more of those sovereign, multidimensional beings that we always were, but our light was dimmed by a very dark force. And the last card is the Libran card, the card of Libra, the card of justice and truth and things balancing out again. Once again, we can see this massive amounts of light now beaming onto the planet. So it's a very exciting time to be here, to be one of the participants as Mother Earth is ascending into this beautiful planet of light. You can help her in every moment by being very, very careful of your thoughts, your words, your actions, your feelings, and what you put your focus on, and whether you are engaging in lower dimensional frequencies, as I mentioned, of chaos and drama and judgment and separation and division. Remember, now that Mother Earth has woken up and she is being resurrected, there is nothing that's going to stop her from getting rid of any lower dimensional frequencies on this planet in order to ascend into a planet of light. Let's finish off with making some magic cards. Okay? That's too many. Posse of angels, please. 3 cards to end with making some magic. Okay, come on. Okay, this card is Insight, opening the third eye to strengthen our intuition. And I guess this card came out because it's most important for us to follow our heart-centered intuition. Especially during a Mercury retrograde, when things can be a little bit clouded as per communication. Drop more into your heart before making any decisions, certainly before saying anything, as so much communication can be misconstrued at this time. Okay, come on. Another card. No, that's too many. That's too many. I'm not going to take all of those. Okay, come on. For this coming week, what do we have here? We have little luxuries, generates luxurious experiences and surroundings. Well, my birthday is coming up, so even if you don't have a birthday coming up, maybe it's been a while since you've indulged in a little luxury, and it doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, it can be taking a beautiful bath and throwing some rose petals in it and adding some bath salts. It could be, walking out in nature. It could be, lying down and just spending some time listening to beautiful, relaxing music. All of those things that make us feel settled and raise our vibrational frequency. Because when we're in that high elevated frequency, then we draw more of the same to ourselves. And then we draw this card, perseverance, the motivation to keep going despite the odds. So I think this card came up because forewarned is forearmed. They're saying that even though it'll be very difficult to see those disclosures coming up, you have the ability to see it as a good thing, because once that decay is exhumed and once it's revealed, then and only then can we go beyond it. And that's it for this week's Walk-in Angel Ariel's Weekly Wisdom. Please join me on my Angel Healing House radio, blog talk radio program this coming Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will be bringing more insights and messages, bringing them forth from the Posse of Angels, my angelic family, as well as taking calls for free mini angel readings. And I would love to hear from you on my birthday on October 7th. Go out, everyone, and fashion an absolutely beautiful life for yourself. And do remember, if you want to contact me for any of my services or my award-winning books, do go to my Angel Healing House website, which is angelhealinghouse.com, and all of my books, these two, and also the lovely Angels of Faith. They all can be purchased on Amazon, and the two award-winning books are available as audiobooks on Audible. I'm wishing you love and, as always, angel blessings. And I look forward to speaking with you again next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.